Okay, I'm so sick and tired of dealing with you, Roxy. You're so annoying, and I hate seeing your ugly face around the house. Here's my plan. You really need to get this through your thick skull of yours, okay? You need to leave the house immediately and never come back here. So start packing your things now.
Whoa, Stacy, just hold on a minute, okay? Where on earth did this come from? You want me to leave immediately? But why? I don't understand. After all, if you kick me out of this house, I'll have nowhere to go. You don't really want that for me, do you? That's not fair at all, Stacy. There's nowhere for me to stay around here.
How am I supposed to know what to do about that, huh? That's not my problem. I just want you to go. I don't really care if you have to live on the street or whatever. Hey, what I'm gonna do is toss all of your belongings into the garden so you can fetch it. After that, you can just disappear forever. It's like you never existed.
Please, just stop this. Don't just throw my things into the garden. I've got some really valuable things of mine that are quite fragile and I don't need them damaged. Look, I've got some really important tools that I use for my work, and there's a lot there that I don't want moved or tossed outside, okay? It costs a lot of money to replace otherwise.
What? Work tools? What on earth are you talking about? I really don't care about that. Your work tools isn't that stupid drawing set that you have, is it? You've been staying in this house all this time, insisting that what you're actually doing is work, right? Ugh, I feel so sorry for Father and Jerry for having to put up with you. Wow.
You've got no idea what I even do for a living, Stacy. What I have is a decent job and it pays well, so stop dissing what I do, for goodness sake.
Okay, chill out, Roxy. Look, I don't really give a crap. All I want is for you to get out of this house, so just leave already. Will you please stop ruining things for me? It's getting rather annoying. I need you out right now because I'm pregnant and I'll need more space for when I have this baby. So just do as I say.
I suppose you're just acting with your own interests in mind. Was this your plan the entire time? Fine, if this is what you want to happen, Stacy, so be it. I'll give you what you want. I'll leave. Just please give me some more time to sort some things out. You can't just spring this on me, okay? Just give me an extra week.
Are you kidding me? I can't live in the same house as you for another week. That's just physically impossible for me to do. I'm going to be returning home soon to have this baby, okay? I don't need to have my baby breathing the same air as you when it's born. It doesn't need to be exposed to you and how annoying you are.
Must you really be so horrible to me, Stacy? I haven't done anything to deserve this. I have been nothing but nice to you, and the things you're saying is going too far.
All I'm saying is what I know is true. It's so nice to have a fake nice girl like you around to pick on. This is my family house, and I can do whatever I like to you. I don't want my child growing up with an annoying auntie like you hanging around. They just don't need your energy around them.
But I've got every right to be here. You can't just do something like this to me. If I leave here, what am I supposed to do? How am I going to move my stuff?
Okay, those things you have no need to worry about, Roxy. I've already organized your accommodation. Don't threat. I did it properly. I guess you won't be on the street after all.
Huh? What are you talking about? Wow, you obviously had this plan for a while, haven't you? Are you actually being serious right now?
Of course! I'm dead serious, Roxy. I got you a place. I got you a luxurious storage room for you to live in for the rest of your natural-born life.
Excuse me? Did you say that you've gotten a storage room for me to live in? Are you crazy? Do you really think I'll even be able to fit my whole life in a storage room? I can't believe that a storage room was the first thing you thought of when it came to kicking me out and needing somewhere else to live.
Well, I may be kicking you out, but I'm not that horrible. A storage room would be completely suitable for you and the things you own. You're a complete burden to this family, and I just wanted you out as soon as possible. You understand, right? You should be lucky that I'm doing something nice for you instead of being selfish.
Okay, yeah, what you're doing is still pretty selfish. There's no doubt about that, Stacy. So what's going to happen to the room I'm in then?
Well, of course, you know that I've decided to take it over and use it as my own, right? Once I return home to have this baby, my brother is going to give up his room so I can have it. It's only natural for me to do that since I'm kicking you out of that room. He doesn't need it anymore. My brother also told me to sleep in the storeroom. I'm not planning on doing that. I need my own space, so would you hurry up and clean out the room so that I can move in? Saves me doing it since I'm very pregnant now.
You've got to be kidding me right now. I can't believe this is happening to me. Stacy, you can't do this to me. But, well, I get it. I should have known you'd do something like this eventually.
I don't care for what you've got to say to me anymore, Roxy. Just get out of my house and get out of my brother's life. Please leave immediately, okay?
Oh my God, Roxy, are you there? I've been trying to get hold of you for a while. I'm really sorry about what's going on, okay? I didn't know what to do. I really wanted to stop her from what she was doing. But it's really difficult to go against anything my sister says. You understand that, right?
Oh, really now? Come on, Jerry. What's going on here? Why is she doing this to me? There's no reason for me to get kicked out of the room. Why aren't you resisting what she's doing?
I really don't know why. I just have trouble standing up to her, you know? I guess it's because you're weak-minded. After all, my sister's older, so she's able to show her leadership more. Not that it's a good thing or anything, but I guess that's why things have ended up this way.
You think it's because of bad luck? Are you serious right now, Jerry? I was hoping that you'd protect me and stand up for me against Stacy. Why haven't you?
I mean, it's easier said than done when it's against my sister. She's just so forceful. But if you're saying things like that to me, shouldn't you have stood up for yourself too?
I'm not surprised at your response, considering she told me that you and my own father-in-law helped move my things out into the garden. I can't believe you both right now. How am I supposed to stand up for myself when it's basically 3 people against little old me, Jerry? How could you both do this to me?
I don't know. I was just doing what Stacy told me to do because otherwise she'd get really angry and you don't want to see her angry. I felt so bad having to do that, and I feel really bad that I'm helping you get kicked out, Roxy. But now you understand how helpless you are, right?
Excuse me? What's that supposed to mean? That I'm at the point of no return? That there's no point in helping your own wife, Jerry? Are you kidding me?
I don't know, Roxy. Maybe this is a good time to think about how you can fix that weak-minded personality of yours. Take this as an opportunity to change yourself. That's how humans grow, you know? From the bad experiences that they're going through. I'm sure that you'll be better off after moving out.
What on earth are you saying, Jerry? I can't understand where this is coming from at all. This happened because I'm immature and can't handle difficult people?
Well, that's not entirely it, Roxy. It's better to be able to protect yourself in case of an emergency, right? If you think about today, for example, it was a difficult situation and you can grow from that. I think this happening is going to make you feel better in the long run because you'll be stronger and be able to see what happens when you don't stand up for yourself.
I can't believe that you're telling me this right now, Jerry. You think what you're saying is a good thing? I'm about to be kicked out of the house for no reason. Fine, whatever. I don't want to fight about this anymore. If I can't rely on you anymore, then I won't, even though you're supposed to be my husband.
There's no need to act like that towards me when there's not much I can do about it. Roxy, just try to not think about the negative, okay?
Excuse me? What on earth are you talking about now, Jerry? How can I not talk negatively considering what's happening to me right now?
Just whatever you do, don't try and get revenge because it's not going to do you or anyone any good. My father and I are also wanting to visit my sister. It's just things have gotten so much worse since our mother passed away, and we don't need any other problems at the moment. My sister just isn't coping.
And what's that got to do with what's happening to me? That's not an excuse for her behavior towards me, Jerry. It doesn't matter to me at all, to be honest.
Well, that's why my father and I don't want anything more to do with what's going on. I really don't want to get involved in this problem you two are having, okay?
But you're supposed to be my husband and help me out. How could you? How far are you going to go in playing the victim, Jerry? I am so over this way you're acting.
I'm not playing the victim or anything like that, Roxy. Please don't be like this. I just don't want to be involved in the fight. We don't have much leeway either, so I can't just easily go against my sister.
What do you mean you can't afford to do that? How is it that you can't disobey Stacy? It makes no sense when, as her brother, you should be able to say no. Is this because she's married to that guy? What's his name? Cody? The president of the company? Is that why you can't say anything but yes to her?
No, that's not it at all, Roxy. Besides, you understand that I know that you're infertile, right? She's pregnant and doesn't want you hanging around. You understand, right?
Excuse me? What the heck did you just say to me? Did you just say that I'm infertile? What the heck is the problem with you people?
You know that my father just wants grandchildren now, okay? And it's obvious for us that children weren't going to be in the picture anytime soon. My sister is pregnant, Roxy. At this point, she's doing better in life than you are, Roxy. She's able to carry a baby in her belly. Knowing that keeps my father going.
Wow, really? This crap again? I've had enough of this. There is absolutely no point in talking to you anymore. I didn't think you were that horrible to say something like that.
Wait a minute, Roxy. I was just saying that so you understand why Stacy is wanting to be back here. Please, believe me. Please answer me.
Oh, dear sister-in-law. Roxy, are you going to answer me? How's it going? How comfortable is the storage room, huh? Easy to sleep in, right? It's nice and cool at night when there's a nice breeze coming in, yeah? I chose it especially for you, so I hope that you like that little feature.
Oh yes, I totally agree with you, Stacy. I'm sure that the breeze that blows through the storage room is quite cool. So nice that you thought of me in that way.
Right? I told you that I've got your best interests at heart. And also, on top of that, you can play with the insects as well. You'll get well acquainted living together.
Ah, I see what you mean about the bugs. It's still summer, so of course there's still a lot of bugs hanging around. Yeah, you're right. But I do have to apologize. I'm not in the storage room anymore. I know how much trouble you went into getting all of this sorted for me, but I really couldn't stay there.
Huh? What do you mean you left? Really? But why? Like you said, I thought that it would be the perfect place for you to live in since I kicked you out of the house.
Well, yes, I left. Of course I knew that there was no way that I was going to be able to fall asleep in here when there are so many bugs and I can feel the wind blow through. So I actually left town so that I could find some decent accommodation. I've started staying at a business hotel. I wanted to feel a bit more comfortable.
Oh, what? You actually did leave? Wow, I thought that you would have stuck it out for a bit longer than this. Ugh, well, aren't you boring? What's happened to your stuff then?
I decided to take only my valuables since I can at least leave them here at the business hotel, and I left the rest at the company. The truck's coming tomorrow.
Oh, why must you be so boring and organized, huh? I was trying to have some fun with this, and you go ahead and ruin it. So rude of you, Roxy. Since you had a good chance to be there, you should have stayed in the storage room. I suppose you've got no sense of adventure. I guess that makes you a boring woman, huh?
Excuse me? You're calling me a boring woman? Whatever for? Must you feel like you have the right to insult me, Stacy? Is this really necessary?
I'm just saying that because Jerry was always talking about that when it came to you. Also my father as well. You're a boring woman, Roxy, and he said he was bored of being with you. I think you're really boring as well and don't fit into this family at all. That's why I needed you to leave. I was doing you a favor, Roxy.
Oh, is that so, Stacy? Well, to be honest, I don't care what you've got to say about me, and I don't care what your family thinks about me either.
Oh, wow. Since when did you become so strong and forceful? What a joke. A shut-in like you wouldn't be able to survive when you got kicked out of the house. I don't intend on forgiving you for acting like this, or if you try and come for me, alright? You're not allowed back here, no matter what.
I haven't done anything to you or the rest of your family, so why would you even want to forgive me for, huh? You're the ones who forced me out.
It was good to get rid of you in the first place. I'm pretty sure that you've been cooped up in the house for too long and living like a parasite. You really need to pay back what you took from my father and my brother. Give them back the living expenses that you owe them, you little thief.
You do realize that I wasn't mooching off your family, right? I was always at home more often because I've been working from home, Stacy.
Yeah, and doing what exactly? What work could you be possibly doing at home? Drawing pictures, am I correct in saying that? I assume you might get a little bit of pocket money every now and then for that, but it's not a proper job, Roxy. So don't talk utter crap to me.
But you know, if we really think about it, I've been doing a lot more than you ever have, Stacy. You've never had a proper job, am I right?
What are you talking about? What's that got to do with me kicking you out of my house? So what if I've never had a job, Roxy? So what if I married a man who has money, Roxy? Also, on top of that, I'm a full-time housewife, so I've got no time to work at all. It's a tough job to have.
Well, yes, I think that being that now is a tough job, yes. But ever since you've left school and gotten married, you've been at home, right?
So what? What's wrong with living at your parents' house, Roxy? I'm not some parasite. I'm an essential part of this family. I'm not someone from the outside like you are.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that because it seems like you've done nothing almost your whole adult life. I'm trying to speak the truth, Stacy.
Well, that's enough. Even though I'm talking to an idiot like you, I'll never reveal my guilt to someone like you to use it against me. You're so sneaky, Roxy. If you're not going to want to take back what's yours, then why don't you just leave us alone and drop to the lower classes of society? I'd rather you be miserable right now.
Well, you can't predict something like that happening to me, Stacy. You never know what could happen to someone you've got no control over.
Well, that's what I want, and I always get what I want. I want you to be living a miserable life so that I no longer have to put up with you ever again. Got it? Excuse me? Are you going to reply to me or what? I've been trying to contact you, you little cow. What the heck are you doing? I just got a call telling me to leave the house as soon as possible. What's the meaning of this, huh? Since when do I have to leave?
Oh, hi there. I was wondering when you were going to get a phone call. That was my lawyer calling you, by the way. She's right in what she said. The house has officially been sold to another family, so please do as you're told and move out immediately. Stacy, I mean it. It's time to leave.
What the heck are you talking about? Just wait a minute, okay? How could you possibly be able to kick me out of this house? What do you mean the house has been sold?
Don't you get it, Stacy? The house that you're living in is no longer suitable to live in, okay? What's so difficult for you to understand, huh? Do I have to repeat myself?
Since when did you get the God-given right to kick me out of this house for? Since when was the house sold without my prior knowledge of it happening?
That house that you claim to have all the rights to, well, it's actually in my name. So I can actually do whatever I want with it, Stacy. You really messed up, didn't you?
Excuse me? What do you mean that the house is in your name? How is that even possible when it's my father's house, huh? Stop lying to me, Roxy!
I'm not lying to you, Stacy. Wow, did you really have no idea about this? I was the one who paid for the renovations on this house, so they changed it to be in my name. You do know that your father and your brother haven't put any money towards the renovations or the home loans on the house for a while now, right?
Are you actually kidding me right now? This can't be true, surely. This house, it's actually in your name? Did you scam them into doing this? This is just some sick joke, right? How has nobody told me about this happening? This doesn't make any sense to me at all. Explain yourself, Roxy!
Both your father and Jerry have a lot of pride when it comes to themselves. It's so stupid, to be honest with you. They didn't want to admit to anyone that I paid for everything.
But it just doesn't make sense that they wouldn't tell me since I'm the eldest daughter and sister. Great. So what am I supposed to do now?
Well, it looks like the three of you have got no choice but to leave the premises and never come back. You're going to have to leave the house and pack up everything you own. I'm only going to give a very limited amount of time to do this, so you better hurry up. If you continue to claim this house as your own, then I'll have no choice but to call the police.
Whoa! Just hold on just a damn minute, okay? There's no need to go that far, and you need to give me a lot more time since we have a lot of stuff in here. There's no need for you to be so arrogant towards me. I've got rights, you know? This is my parents' house, for goodness sake. What gives you any right to kick me out?
Oh, it's fine for you to kick me out of my house and toss my belongings in the garden, but when I do that to you, I can't do it? I can't throw your stuff out my window since the house is in my name?
No, you shouldn't be allowed to do that at all. That's just unfair since you're just a stranger who invaded my family's life. Don't you know I'm at full term? You can't just violate my rights.
Look, everything's going to be all right. When you finally leave the house, I'll have a car come by and pick you up. Just stay in the hospital until your child is born, okay?
Huh? Are you kidding me right now? How on earth am I supposed to make that happen when I'm having no labor symptoms yet?
No, I totally understand. The baby that's in your belly right now is not at fault, and I'm trying to think of what's best for the child and the woman giving birth to it. I would like to do my best to support the baby and you during this trying time, at least until you give birth, since I want the baby to also be born in a safe and healthy place. But you've really got to leave the house, especially because of what you did to me. It's my house, and there's no other way to put it. I don't know what your father and Jerry will do.
Well, shouldn't you also be giving more support to me and to them since you're doing this to us? How on earth did you manage to pay for the renovations in the first place? I thought that you were a shut-in and hardly ever left the house. I thought that you were unemployed and lived off of my father and brother.
Well, you're wrong because I'm not unemployed. As I tried to explain to you, I've got a job. I work as an illustrator and I earn a decent wage from it.
Wait, what? You're actually an illustrator? I've heard something about that job before, but I thought it was just drawing that didn't earn much.
How do you not know this field? Didn't you know that there's big changes happening in the industry and more illustrations are needed? There are huge advertisements all over the airport and down by the mall about illustrators needed for developing new smartphone games.
Well, I do know a little bit about it. I'm not completely stupid. Those games are developed and operated by Cody's company.
Yes, I do know that. I was in charge of the character design for the game that his company is working on, Stacy.
I'm sorry, what? You were in charge of something? Are you kidding me? Well, I guess you're full of surprises, aren't you, Roxy?
Do you finally believe that I'm actually doing a proper job for once? I don't know why it took you so long to actually listen to me and actually believe what I say.
No, that's not it at all. But if this were all true, there was no way that it was that obvious. You keep to yourself way too much, so I wouldn't know a lot about what you do.
I don't think it's impossible to not know what I'm doing, considering I've got my own space where I design and draw my ideas, Stacy. But I'm also not working under my real name. You know what I'll do? I'll send you a business card so that you can know what's going on and that you can show Cody as well.
Okay, so I talked to Cody about what you told me, and he admitted that you're a designer. He was also surprised, as this was the first time that he's heard about this from you. Why the heck haven't you said anything to us about this? Why have you been so silent about this up until now? It makes no sense to me.
Well, a lot of the reason why I kept so quiet about it is because I have several jobs going on at the same time. I remember seeing an advertisement at the airport not so long ago. I actually accepted the job offer before you both got married to each other. Also, I've never talked to Cody directly about what I do for work.
If that's really the case, it doesn't surprise me that you were able to pay for the renovations since you had so many jobs and now this one. Why must you be so silent around me and my family about this? Can't you just tell me your reasons for this? I just want to understand.
I don't know, because I just left that part out in terms of telling you. It's not something I like to brag about. And your father and brother insisted, okay? You know, being nice to me now isn't going to work, Stacy. It's too late to take back what happened. I'm going to inform Cody about the matter between us.
What? But I hardly did anything to you. Just wait a minute, please, Roxy. Please just stop this. This is just an internal conflict we have, okay? I can make this right if you let me. We're family, remember? It's natural for us to fight and bicker about things, and you were also keeping secrets from us, so basically we're even now, right?
What the heck, Stacy? This isn't how it works. You literally kicked me out of my house, and you tried to make me sleep in some disgusting storage room. I don't think I can take all that back since you were so horrible and obviously didn't care about me being on the street. All you care about is yourself, and that will never change.
Please, just don't say anything to my husband, okay? He doesn't need to know because it's not his business. He's not involved with this. Come on! I'm actually sorry that I didn't know enough about you. What's it going to take for you to forgive me for what happened? I'll do anything, okay?
No, I don't plan on forgiving you at all. You threw my stuff out into the garden and you didn't listen to me. What's worse is that you all turned against me, even my own husband. You do know that you released all those disgusting bugs into the warehouse before I went in there, right? I'm not dumb, Stacy.
Huh? What do you mean? I didn't do anything like that. I can't help that there were bugs in the storage room. Please don't be like this. Don't tell my husband what happened.
I was sleeping in there and you knew that. Don't you know that all of this is your fault? Were you trying to harass me? I was just about to leave, but I took a video instead. And you know what I'm going to do with that video? I intend to send it to Cody so he knows what kind of conditions you threw me into.
Please don't do that. He doesn't need to see anything like that. I'm really sorry. Please, I'll do anything to make this up to you. Just don't kick me out of the house.
Ah, oops. It's already too late. I already sent it to him before you replied to me. Oh well. I wonder what he's going to think of his pregnant wife now.
How dare you? Please unsend it. Come on, Roxy. I'm really sorry, and I didn't mean to do any of those things.
It's too late. I've got nothing more to say to you, so with that, I'm going to go now. Get out of the house now, or you'll be walking to the hospital.
Please, you can't do this to me right now. I need help, especially since I'm pregnant. There's no way that I can walk all the way to the hospital by myself. Help me out, Roxy. I didn't mean to do what I did. I don't want my husband to leave me or my family. They're going to be so unhappy with me. Don't ruin my life. I'm sorry. Please come back and help me.
Your days of messing with my life are over, Stacy. I'm just trying to teach you how to be nice to people. I'm going to block you now. I don't want anything to do with you ever again. Goodbye and good riddance. After that dilemma, Roxy blocked Stacy from messaging her. She never wanted to see or have any contact with her ever again. She couldn't believe that the responsibility of the house was passed on Roxy by her father and Jerry. She's also been cut off by her family, whom she trusted to be on her side. Also, Roxy's father-in-law and Jerry have had a lot of difficulty trying to make ends meet. It seems like they were up to their ears in debt and didn't know what to do about it. All three of them must now be living a difficult life, living to feed themselves the next day. It seems that Cody is taking care of the newborn baby by himself after ditching his wife, Stacy. Roxy goes over to meet him sometimes, and she thinks the baby is very cute. Roxy is still working as an illustrator and often receives a lot of work from Cody. She's able to live a stable and self-fulfilling life every day.
Hey, pile of crap wife. Are you still inside at my parents' house? I'm still in the house, yes. Did you need something else from me today? Did you make sure to finish all of the laundry? I want to make sure you got to all of my blankets and sheets as well before I get home. Because if you still haven't finished them like what happened last time, then I'm going to be even more furious with you. And you wouldn't want another taste of my anger, right? All you're good for is doing the chores and nothing else, you pile of garbage. So you'd better have finished up with all of today's chores, and I mean everything. Because if you can't even do chores for the family and I anymore, then you really are worth nothing to us here. Are you feeling bad for yourself for having to hear all of this from me? Ashamed that you have to be told such trivial stuff at your age? I've given up on feeling bad for myself now since this has gone on for so long. And I'd never be ashamed. As for the laundry, it's all done now and I was about to start folding it. Even your bedding is done and has even finished drying outside. So don't get too worked up about it. You really are the worst woman and wife ever. Why did my brother ever choose to marry an uneducated woman like you? It's not even like you have any good looks and you only ever graduated from high school. And you've never even gotten yourself a proper full-time job before, right? Well, considering that you're completely hopeless, there was never a chance you'd get a proper job in the first place. Say whatever you want about me, I'm used to it all now. What is that nonchalant attitude all about? It's disgusting. Do you want me to teach you another horrible lesson? That right there, could you stop doing that all the time? Just because I never went anywhere after high school doesn't mean you have to judge my whole life based off it, right? And why would my sister-in-law even care that much about my education in the first place? It's been 3 years now since I married your brother, and you should be over all that childish crap. What was that? You think you can finally talk back to me starting today? I'll have you know, it's because you have no education that I have to say all of this about you. You are nothing more than a lowlife, which means that all you should be doing is shutting up and listening to me. You can't seriously be saying things like that now, calling me a lowlife and all. And if you tell anything about this to Jay, he is not going to help you. I've already made sure he stays out of our drama. I know that already. By the way, I'm going to be getting married finally. What? Is that right? I hate that I'll have to leave this wonderful home and its slave, but the man I'm marrying not only has a very high education, but is a doctor. The kind of doctor that someone of your status would never be able to pull. I'm glad I actually went to college and graduated with a bachelor's from there. An uneducated lowlife like you would never be able to marry a doctor, let alone date one. So you're marrying a doctor? Congrats. I'm so happy to hear this. You're going to be lonely after I'm gone, right? No, actually, I won't be. But don't you worry one bit about that, all right? I'll make sure to have your hopeless ass coming over to my new place here soon to do the chores there as well. Excuse me? You want me doing the chores over at your new place too? The place where you'll be going with your soon-to-be husband? That's the place. You don't do anything else with your life after all, so that will be fun for you, right? And by the way, if you don't start coming over to do everything for us, I'll make Jay divorce you. Are you really willing to say crazy things like that now? I think you wanting to have me go all the way out to whatever new place you plan to move into to do all of your chores is not the right mindset you should have as a wife, all right? I don't think I'll be doing anything like that for you. You're going to be my slave forever, whether you like it or not. And the only person in this world that knows what to do with a low-life pile of trash like you is me. That's even more mean than before. That's right. This weekend, my man will be coming over to see all of you. What? He's coming out here? That's right. So make sure you're home to introduce yourself to him. That should be something even the most pathetic of uneducated lowlifes can do. Understood. So Dana's getting married now, is she?
What? Did you already hear about that from her? I only just heard about that a little bit ago, so that was quick. I heard she's marrying a doctor. I can't believe her. All she had to do was say she wanted to get married and boom!
So her fiancé really is a doctor then?
I'm sure you'll be lonely once my older sister's out of this house, but she told me that she'll still be asking you to go and hang out with her a lot, so you don't have to worry.
Huh? I don't have to worry. What are you going on about, Jay? Are you being for real right now?
What? For real about what?
I'm not sure why it seems you've always thought of your sister and I being close to one another, but we're not. Why would you even think I'd be lonely to have her leaving? Have you seen the way she treats me? Can you even see the way she treats me?
Why are you getting all upset now, Finley? Are you starting to get a little bit jealous because my sister's marrying a doctor now? I've heard all about things from her, you know. You happen to be very close to her, and that's why you would most likely get jealous from the good news. I just hope you don't start saying any other rude things about my sister. She's always been spoiling you and treating you like her own little sister, so shouldn't you be happy instead of jealous?
I can't believe this. Jay, I have something very important to tell you. You have to start listening and trusting what I tell you, or else you're going to be left regretting a lot of things in the future.
Finley? You're acting all strange now. What happened? Did you hit your head on something?
Do you even care to listen to my answer? Or will you just ignore what I say and continue believing what your sister says about me?
I'll listen to you. Now, just calm down so that you can talk things over with me.
Then let me tell you in person. Hurry home as soon as you can once you're out of work, all right? I want to make sure you hear everything. Pile of trash! I'm sure you're at least partially ready, aren't you? You finished cleaning up a lot of the house already, haven't you? Yes, I've finished all of that. Will you both be arriving here soon? I don't want you looking like the pile of garbage you are, so make sure to wear something nice today. You normally look like the holy grail of flies. That's why everyone calls you trash and a pile of crap. Perhaps I always look a little bad because someone in the house went and tossed a lot of my good clothing? What are you talking about? I have no idea who that could be you're referring to there. My fiancé and I are coming there right now, so don't do anything that would embarrass me, all right? And once the pile of trash woman has introduced herself, you get your ass into your room and stay there for the remainder of the time he's around. All right, I'll make sure to do that. Don't even answer any of his questions when he's there. Let me be the one to talk and then scurry off. All right, I understand. I'll make sure to let you handle everything. Everything. All right? You! Finley, what the hell was that about? What kind of games are you trying to play with me now? My fiancé just got up and left here. And where the hell did you run your ass away to? I have loads of things I want to yell your ear off about. Now get back here and listen to me. I am going to make you pay for all the crap you just pulled. You and I are never going to meet with one another one-on-one again, so you don't have to stay upset with me. If there is ever anything you have to talk to me about in the future, I'm making sure that someone else will be there as a witness. Huh? What the actual hell are you talking about? I am furious with you right now because of that stupid BS you just pulled. My fiancé was in shock and left me. You'd better start putting some actual thought into what you're doing right now before things get really bad, you freaking pile of crap idiot. Who's really the pile of crap idiot here? What? What did you say to me? Your fiancé didn't just run away from you in shock, but told you that the marriage was off now. Are you still not aware of that? You must be a lot more brain dead than I first thought. I will not forgive you for this now. You told him that you were the uneducated pile of trash wife to my brother, and then you told him you were pleased to meet him. Because you pulled that total crap during your introduction to him, he left me. Are you even aware of that? What the actual hell was that introduction? What? Did I say something incorrect about myself then? I thought the person who I told him I am is the person you think of me as all the time, right? That's the kind of person I am to you, so why wouldn't I tell him that? Was there a problem or anything with that? That is not the kind of thing you say about yourself in a setting like that. If you would have just been thinking, you would have known that. You should have never told me he was a doctor. Huh? You should have never told me that your fiancé was a doctor. Had you never told me who he was, I probably wouldn't have had to tell him as much as I did today. But because I was aware of the person he is, I made sure he could understand who I was to you, and that really got him all shook up, didn't it? I think I did the right thing there. I can't believe this. Did you really tell him all of that on purpose? After what I just said to you, you should be more than aware that it was on purpose. Really does suck that before you two could even plan out a wedding, he left you and called off the marriage. Perhaps that means you're not as great of a woman after all. Oh, of course you're not. There's nothing about you that could be attractive to men. You stop playing around with me right now. Who do you think you are, talking to me like that? Do you think it's okay for you to talk back to me like that right now? I'm going to make sure my brother leaves you now, and when I tell my parents about this, they'll kick you out of their house for sure. I'm pretty sure you'll be the one getting kicked out, Dana. Huh? No way in hell that's happening to me after this. This house is my family's house. You've done a lot to hurt me over the past 3 years, and now I am no longer forgiving you for any of it. And neither will any of your family. What are you trying to say to me right now? What do you think a hopeless woman like you will be able to do to me? I'll have you know that everything you've done to me up until now has been recorded on video. What? Recorded on video? Not just video though, actually, but there are screenshots of things as well as pictures that I've taken. Everything you've done to me has been recorded in some form or another. And I've been waiting a long time now for the perfect chance to exact my revenge. Why do you keep on talking about a whole lot of nonsense, video recordings and screenshots? Did I ever even do anything wrong? Well, there was that time you pushed me down those stairs. The time you hit me in the head and back with a cast iron frying pan, and those times you made me eat things that were either raw or rotten. But all this time, you've done a decent job of covering everything you did to me up. Like making me always cook for everyone in the house so that when I told Jay about how you'd feed me horrible things, he wouldn't believe me. And how you'd say you were never even in the same spot of the house as me when I went tumbling down the stairs or was hit by you with those pans. But I only say you did a decent job of all that because your mom started to notice you were lying. Hold on a second. I did all of that to you? You can keep trying to gaslight me about all of that, but these recordings and photos do not lie. I'm sure it's easy to say that you just forgot you did all of that as well, since you were the one who carried them out. But as the victim, I can remember every little detail of each and every event. Well, thankfully the time has come for me to get this revenge. And now I'm going to win with all this evidence in my hands. What do you mean by win? You're making it sound like I'm the bad guy or something here. I'm sorry, but no matter how people try to look at things here, you are the bad guy in them all. But that's not something I care to explain to you anymore. I'm just happy to see that I didn't even need all of this evidence to convince your fiancé that you are indeed a terrible person, all with one simple introduction of myself. There's no way this can be happening. I think he was just joking about not wanting to marry me. I sure hope you keep thinking of that as nothing but a joke. The longer it takes for you to realize the truth, the harder things will become when you're punished. Also, the fact that your fiancé left you so easily there probably means that there was already a bit of indecisiveness in his mind about you. Perhaps you couldn't hide the bitch you really are deep down from him. What is all this BS you keep saying about me? And calling this your revenge is so freaking lame. This isn't even a revenge for anything, and you're just being a monster because that's all you lowlifes seem to know how to behave. What did I ever do wrong to even deserve all of this? The fact that you still don't understand all of the wrongs you've committed confirms to me you really are a failure of an adult. Well, don't worry, Miss Mentally Challenged. Soon your parents and brother will be helping you understand just how many terrible things you've done. My family will... You can't seriously be saying that you'll tell my family about all of that. Why wouldn't I? I gathered all of this evidence in order to tell them about you. And by the way, I already showed my husband everything. Your husband? Jay? What the hell did you do to my brother? I understand that he's your little brother and all, but he's also my husband, and that means I can do whatever I want with him. Also, all I was doing was showing him what you've done to me. I have a right to do that, correct? I mean, if you were so worried about him knowing those things, then why did you do all of them in the first place? A right to... this isn't about your rights to do anything. It's not like any of that matters, though, because Jay would surely never believe what you showed him. He is the closest to me, after all. And that's why for a while now he was never willing to actually listen to anything I'd say. But due to the fact that I had video evidence, there was no way he'd be able to claim that I was lying or anything like that. He was in shock, Dana. He was also so upset in himself for never giving me the chance to fully explain things to him that he said he'd never have to see you again. He doesn't want to see you again, frankly. What was that? So, Jay, he actually believed you? That has to be a lie, right? There is no way in hell he'd ever listen to what you tell him over what I say. No way. But after seeing all the videos I had taken, he had no other choice but to believe me. Although he really had no clue about all of the horrible things you'd done to me and was not ready to fully accept all of it. But after a few minutes, he knew he had to, and I'm sure the same will be said when I show the rest of your family this evidence. And even if they still don't want to, at least now, Jay no longer wants you to be in his house. Huh? Does he think he can kick me out of the house now? Throw me away from my family? Weren't you already planning on leaving the house and your family with that marriage? Why are you so upset about this becoming the end result for you? I guess you're not going to be getting married anymore, but that's something you had coming for you for a long time now, so it has nothing to do with the rest of us. That was never coming for me. The only reason I've had to have all of this awful crap happen to me today, all of it is because of you. This is all your fault, Finley. Because you went and said all of that useless garbage to my fiancé, he left the house and I. And if that means we really won't be getting married to one another anymore, I will not let you get away from me. Even if you won't let me get away from you, who's to say I will ever let you get near me again? You've really put yourself into a very cruddy situation by having bullied me like I really was your slave all these years. What happens to you next is all a part of my revenge, Dana. Be prepared for it. Finley, what the hell is going on now? I just got a letter saying that I'm being taken to court. This shouldn't be happening to me, right? What are you trying to say I actually did to you? You came back home to your parents' house after running out all night looking for your fiancé. Were then yelled at by the both of them for what you'd done to me, and then you came at me trying to punch me with nothing held back at all, right? There were plenty of witnesses in that room this time, so there's no way you're going to be able to talk your way out of punishment this time. And even if you could, I still have all the evidence from all the other incidents that I can take you to court for. No matter what you try and do now, you're screwed. That was because you tried to make me look bad in front of my family. I was pissed off after what you'd done, so of course I was going to punch you. That's all it was. Okay, but you're pretty well into your adult life now, correct? And when you go trying to punch another person like that, it becomes a crime. You weren't aware of that? From what it looked like, you might not have been, but were totally aware that you needed to hurt me in order to calm your anger. You cut this crap out right now. I'm sorry that I got a little emotional in front of everyone the other day, okay? But trying to take me to court now? I never did anything bad enough to warrant you doing this to me, right? You and I, we're family, aren't we? Yet now you're going through all the steps to get me kicked out of the house and out of my family? What you've done makes you the bad guy. And if you go through with taking me to court and in front of a judge for everything, what am I going to be able to do in order to defend myself? I don't care about what you'll be able to do. Find yourself a lawyer and hope for the best there. In my case, after all that I've had to go through, I have every right to take you to court and get my revenge. And then, after all is said and done, I will never have to see you again. It will only be Jay and I that are ever allowed to live with your parents, so you need to go and live somewhere else. Preferably far away from here. Your parents are on board with all of this as well, as they came to me to apologize for everything and they said they were done with you. Things will finally be a little bit easier for me now in the house. Don't you find it a little strange that I'm having to be the one getting kicked out? And that you get to stay in my parents' house? That place has always been my house, yet for some reason, why should an uneducated and useless woman be allowed to stay there? Uneducated, shut the hell up. I happen to be a far better person than you, even if I never went to college. And I was even able to get myself a husband, while you took 3 years from then to find yourself someone to marry, and he left you in an instant. Sure, you may have been good looking to him on the outside, but the moment he realized what you are within, he was gone. All you are is this shallow, stupid, and violent bitch. You can't say things like that about me, especially since I've just lost my fiancé because of you, Finley. You're still blaming that one on me? All that happened was him finding out about what you think of me, right? And no matter what you think, he was going to find out about how you'd been treating me eventually. But going and telling my family about me as well was a dick move. I no longer have a place to sleep, all right? And so what? You always brag about how you got yourself a bachelor's, so put that thing to use and find yourself a job. So you seem to have a lot of fun making fun of me for being uneducated in that regard, but I'm the one who actually found both love and a company job where I make decent money. What about you? Right after you graduated college, you never even bothered to find yourself a job. I know that recently you've been telling everyone about how you're still searching, but that can't be true, right? You graduated before I even married your brother, which means you've been searching for 10 years now. I think that might be another reason your fiancé left you, right? What the hell? You're really annoying me now. I have had a lot more going on than you know about. Had I really wanted to go out and work, I could have found a job anywhere. You could have? Then go get a job and quit whining. You will then be able to afford yourself a place to live and will no longer have to be around me, right? You are 32 years old now, aren't you? I thought that by that age, most women had a life of their own and were doing all right. And before you try and take a jab back at me, the only reason Jay and I still live with your parents is because he's paying the loan on this house off for them. But you haven't even helped by putting in $1, so it's kind of fair that you have to leave the house now, right? But no more goddamn buts, you idiot. You went and tried assaulting me again and are now going to court on criminal charges. And once you've been judged in court, you will have lost all of your family. Do you understand that? Every little bit of what's happened and what's happening to you is what you deserve. If you still don't quite get that, then please take your time. But if and when you do, get out there and start a life of your own, please. All you seem to know how to do is complain, you filthy piece of crap. You don't have to say that. Finley, please forgive me. Me deciding to forgive you or not all decides on what happens next. But for right now, I don't want to be around you and do not think I will ever forgive what you've done. Therefore, don't you ever try coming around me again. Goodbye forever. I hope you end up regretting everything you ever did to me in hell someday.
Are you all right with how everything went? With my sister and all? You didn't just have her taken away by the police because you couldn't get over what she did to you, right? I don't mean to say what happened to her wasn't warranted. After I saw those videos of what she'd done, I started to really hate her a lot.
I think she deserved everything that happened and that she'll have suffered enough by the time it's all over for her. I really hope that by her being taken into custody by the law, she'll learn her lesson.
I'm really sorry, Finley. Because I never took the time to notice what was going on, you had to spend 3 years going through hell with her.
There were times I could have shown you the evidence a lot sooner, but didn't, so I'm also to blame for that. Honestly, we shouldn't be blaming ourselves for any of what happened, though, since it's all in the past now.
I know that even my parents have been apologizing to you, which means from now on, I'm going to do everything for you to make sure you have the family you've always wanted. I also want to make sure you never question whether or not I'm your ally. I'm sure that for a bit that'll be tough for you, but I hope that after some time I'll have learned about all the horrible things that happened with you and you can really gain your trust back. From now on, I'm making time to talk to you, all right?
You saying that to me now is very heartwarming. So from now on, I'll make sure to let everything out. And soon we'll be having a kid to worry about as well, right? If we are both still having trouble getting along, I'd feel terrible for our baby.
Good point. You and I need to get going on growing really close to one another again, right?
And let's make sure to never think about Dana again. Because we still have our lives ahead of us and don't need the bad memories of her impeding what we do anymore. I even want to talk with your parents about this now, so we're all on the same page. That way, as your wife, I can finally feel like I'm actually your parents' daughter-in-law. In order to make sure that both Jay and myself could put his older sister behind us, we made deeper ties with his parents. I'm not aware of too much now in regards to what happened with Dana, other than the fact that she's moved into company housing, working somewhere I've never heard of. And as for the court case, I ended up never going through with it, and ending everything I held against her, because I just didn't want to bother with her anymore. I was already happy with the fact that both Jay and his parents got rid of her as a part of their family. So in the end, I think this was the best revenge I could have gotten after what she'd done. I'm now feeling much better about the choice I had made of marrying a man like Jay, and now have this sense of being his wife and his parents' daughter-in-law instead of some punching bag for Dana. And as a way of showing that they were truly sorry for what had happened to me, Jay's parents are taking me with them to the Philippines this coming month, and I'll get to spend a week growing even closer to the both of them at an all-inclusive resort.
Hey, make sure you send me that $500 by the end of the day, got it? I mean it, I want to see that money in my account by the end of the day, no excuses. If the money isn't in my account by the end of the day, well, let's just say that you're really going to regret it. Do you understand me? Excuse me? Sorry, what is all this now? What in the world are you even talking about? I really have no idea what this could be about in the slightest. Could you please expand on what you're trying to say to me a little more so that I can grasp what it is that you're asking of me? Are you illiterate? Send the money today and call me the second that you do it, got it? I mean, really, why do I even have to repeat myself with you like this? Do you not know English or something? I am your mother. And you shouldn't be making me repeat myself to you constantly, especially when it comes to matters about my money. Wait, hold on just a second, Mom. I just want to ask a couple of questions. I mean, I just feel like I'm still not getting the full picture here, and I think I need to clarify a few details before we can move forward with this line of conversation. So I'm going to include some questions and concerns that I have about this request that you're making of me right now in the next message that I'm about to start typing out as soon as I finish typing out this message, okay? Why do you need $500 all of a sudden? I'm pretty sure that I already sent you money this month. Don't tell me that you spent it all already. What are you talking about? You expect me to live off of that measly sum? Besides, I am your mother. You'll do as I say.
Now, I don't want to hear any more backtalk or questions from you. Got it? Just hurry up and send me my money. Hold on a second, Mom. I'm not done. There's no way that the $1,000 I sent you every month wasn't enough. Where did it all go? What did you spend it on? Don't tell me you went on another spur-of-the-moment shopping spree again. Mom, I am serious. You have to be more careful with your money. You can't just spend it all on frivolous things. You have to budget it. Excuse me? Excuse me! Are you trying to tell your own mother how she should live her life? Besides, do you really think you know my expenses better than I do? When I tell you that $3,000 a month isn't enough, I mean it. How dare you even suggest otherwise? You really can be a stupid girl, you know. That money won't even be enough for me to live on if I pinched every penny and went to bed hungry to try and save. Mom, there is no way that can be true. I know that for a fact. What are you even talking about, trying to pretend like a measly $1,000 a month would ever be enough for me? I barely have enough to get by now. Is that what you want, Rita? You want your poor old mother to wither away in poverty? Oh my goodness, what are you even talking about right now? You were the one who asked me to send you that much a month in the first place. What are you complaining about when I have only ever sent you what you asked for? You told me that you were struggling to get by just on the money from your part-time job and came to me for help. You know that I'm not rich, but I worked and still work hard to make sure I earn that extra $1,000 to send to you. But if that isn't enough, then I think it's finally time that you went out and found a full-time job. I am just disgusted with your attitude right now. I cannot believe that you think this is any way to be talking to your mother. I can't honestly believe you're my daughter, honestly. And I certainly don't like you talking as if I should be grateful for giving these meager table scraps to live on. Stop being so full of yourself. I mean, don't you have any sense of shame? Your little brother sent me far more than you do a month, and you're the older sibling. It is time you learned some responsibility for once in your life. Wait, what did you just say? Mark sends you money too? Is that what you're saying right now? When did this start? Oh, hadn't you heard, Rita? Mark finally found a job, and it's a really, really good one. Starting this spring, your brother's going to be working for Google. Aren't you impressed? Excuse me? Mark, as in my little brother Mark, is going to be working for Google? Really? Are you serious about that? Of course I'm serious. It's all been agreed to, and the papers have been signed. It's official. Oh, that boy really is the apple of my eye, my precious little star. I couldn't be more proud of him. He's going to be starting his job soon and making so much money, especially more than you. Anyways, that's why I reached out to him too and asked him for $3,000 a month. What? Are you serious? Wow. Well, it figures, working for such a huge place like Google. I mean, wow. Huh? And just what are you so happy about, huh? You're the older sister. Aren't you ashamed for losing to your little brother? Aren't you embarrassed he's getting the better job? Even though he's younger than you, he's about to go into his position making far more than you ever have. Doesn't that upset you? You should be so upset that you should want to send me even more money so you don't lose to him anymore. What do you mean? You mean you want me to send you more money than Mark said he would? That's right. The least you could do to save some face is send me at least $3,000 more a month. That much should be obvious. If your little brother can do it, then surely you, the older sister, should be able to manage that no problem. What? Are you serious? No. That is not even in the realm of possibility right now. You want me to send you an additional $3,000 on top of the $3,000 that I'm already sending you a month? There is no way I could afford something like that. Wow, are you really sure about that? You're going to give up and let your brother win so easily? You mean that you really are going to keep sending me less than Mark is? You know, Mark said he was going to work hard and make sure that I see that much every month. Are you telling me that you're refusing to even work as hard as him? You care about your mother so little that you would rather be lazy and take the easy way out? You really mean to lay all of that responsibility on poor Mark's shoulders? Oh, you're not only a bad daughter, you're a bad sister. Are you serious right now?
Why do you think I started sending you money in the first place? It's because you never bother saving up any kind of nest egg for yourself. You've always only ever worked part-time and just assumed from the start that I would be sending you $3,000 a month. You do know that I've been working my job ever since I graduated from college, right? And that whole time, for 10 whole years, I never once failed to send you money. I really doubt it when you say that that money, plus what you make from your job, isn't enough to live a reasonably comfortable life. But it's not enough if you keep going out shopping and buying expensive clothes from fancy brands and expanding your handbag collection. And just who do you think you are to be telling me how to live my life, huh? I see something I want and I buy it. That's how the world should be. Have you forgotten that I raised you and Mark all by myself? Is this any way to pay back your mother for all her hard work? I've been doing this all by myself ever since your dad got sick and died. You owe everything to me. So what if your mother has expensive tastes? The least you can do is make sure that she is living the life she wants without needing for anything. Mom, I never said any of those things. You are twisting my words so far beyond what I ever said. I'm just saying that my finances have limits, and living that lifestyle isn't realistic given that. And I just really don't think you should be seeing the money I send you as some kind of fund to keep up your shopping. It is meant to help you pay for essential items. You watch your mouth when you're talking to your mother, young lady. I don't need to be lectured by a stupid little girl like you, got it? You should have offered to send me more money from the start. You should be eager to pay me more. Not only do you not do that, though, but you barely even send me enough to get by. Do you hate me that much? $3,000 a month is nothing. How dare you even imply that it's difficult for you, or that I should be happy with what I have? Mom, there is no need to say any of those mean things. I don't understand why you always get like this. Families shouldn't treat each other this way. I am working hard every day to help you, and this is the way you talk to me? It really hurts my feelings when you talk to me like this. Why do you think I would give a damn about your feelings? You're an adult and it's your turn to take care of your mother, not the other way around. Mom, I'm sorry, but I just cannot take any more of this. I've had enough. I won't be sending you more money. In fact, I won't be sending you any more money at all. I try and try and try, and this is all I get in return? Well, I don't think I want to give you any more money at all now. You've never once thanked me for sending you money in the past 15 years. I don't think I feel like sending any more of my hard-earned money. And just what should I be grateful to you for anyways, doing your basic duty as a daughter? Do you expect people at the office to thank you for doing your job? I don't think so, and this is no different. I cannot believe that after all the sweat and tears I poured into raising you all by myself, I might add, that you can't even try to give your mother a more comfortable life. Don't pretend like $3,000 is even that much in the first place. You were barely doing the minimum. But now Mark, your brilliant, amazing, soon-to-be-rich little brother, is going to be stepping in where you failed. All right then, good for you, because I certainly won't be sending you another cent, Mom. Do what you want, it doesn't matter to me. Honestly, you've never been anything but a selfish, horrible daughter. All I've ever asked from you is what I thought that I deserved as your mother, the one who raised you. But you just had to go and throw that right back in my face. This conversation is pointless. I knew I shouldn't have bothered even talking to you. I don't need you or your money now. My precious genius son is going to be taking care of me now. I don't even want to look at you ever again. Do you understand me? You are a failure as a daughter, and you couldn't even take care of your poor mother when all she wanted was to live comfortably. Mark, I'm sorry, but I cannot deal with Mom's antics anymore. From here on out, it is up to you to take care of her. Her and I are not talking anymore. We are through communicating. Good luck sending her the $3,000 a month, because I am not going to be sending her another cent. I have been sending our mother, the person who birthed and raised us, $3,000. That is $300 multiplied by 10 for the past 15 years. Do you know how long 15 years is?
Think of how long 5 years is, and then multiply that amount of time by 3 years, and that is how long I have been sending our mom the amount of $3,000, or 1,000 3 times over, if you will.
Whoa, what? Excuse me? Where did all this come from all of a sudden? What do you mean you and her aren't speaking anymore? Don't tell me you two got into another fight.
I would say that she picked the fight with me, but in a nutshell, I mean just that. We fought and finally decided that we didn't want to be in each other's lives anymore.
What? You can't be serious, right, Rita? I mean, that's so much.
It is, but I heard from Mom that you said you were going to be paying her $3,000 a month to help with her expenses. She told me that she didn't need my $3,000 a month anymore, and then I said that I wasn't going to be sending it. She said that was fine because you were going to be taking care of her from now on.
What? She said all of that? What is she thinking? There is no way I could afford to do something like that.
What? What are you talking about? Mom told me that you had landed a really nice and well-paying job at Google. She told me that you were going to be making several times more than me and that for you, $3,000 a month would just be a drop in the bucket.
She said what now? I can't believe that. Of course I didn't get a job at Google. I never even bothered applying there. I can't believe that she would just so blatantly lie to your face about something like that. That's insane.
I knew she couldn't have been telling the truth. Well, no offense. But I just thought the whole thing sounded suspicious from the very start. I mean, again, no offense, but you struggled to hold down jobs after high school and only ended up going to community college. Then after you got your degree, you've been spending about the past 2 years trying to find a solid job. I thought that it was weird that she was insisting that all of that led you to an amazing job at a company like Google.
So then why did you believe her when she told you all of that?
I just listened to her go on and on. I mean, I think we both know that you are by far her favorite child. She just adores you. I figured that if I tried to challenge her claim about you and your new job, that it would just turn into another thing to fight about, so I didn't bother. But what I really want to know now is why you told her such an obvious lie. I mean, really, what could you have been thinking she was going to accomplish by doing something like that?
Come on, Rita, isn't it obvious by now? It's because I just wanted to get her off my back.
What do you mean by that?
Being the favorite has plenty of downsides too, you know. After I graduated from the community college back home, Mom was always bugging me. She was always messaging to ask, "Have you found a job yet? Have you found a job yet? I'm sure you're working for a huge company now, right?" It was driving me up the wall, so one day I finally just snapped and told her that I found a job at Google.
So you just wanted her to quit bugging you about what you were going to do with your life, and that's when you came up with that terrible see-through lie? And just what was your plan once she finds out that none of what you told her is true?
Well, she hasn't found out yet, so I'd say I'm doing pretty good so far. Although once I told her about the Google job, she did make me promise to send her $3,000 a month. So I told her that I'd send her the $3,000 a month as long as you kept sending her money as well.
Excuse me? Why would you tell her that?
Because I knew that Mom would take that information and try to use it to goad you into sending her money every month. You were supposed to agree to pay her more. Then once you did, I was supposed to tell her that my job got cut because of the economy or inflation or whatever. And then I figured I could buy myself a little more time with her off my back. Plus, Mom would finally get that extra money she's always complaining about. What do you think? Kind of a perfect plan, right?
Wow, I'm just in shock. I really have no idea what to even say. Did you really think that plan of yours was going to work?
Of course I did. Why do you think I told her about the Google job in the first place? But I didn't think that you and Mom would fight so much that you two would just cut each other off.
You ruined my whole brilliant plan. Now instead of getting more money, Mom is going to be getting no money and definitely is going to get back on me about finding a job.
What were you thinking? I don't even know where to start with all of that.
Anyways, you should know that I have no intention of making up with Mom. I sent that woman $3,000 every month without fail for the past 15 years, but that all ended today.
Rita, come on, you can't do this to me.
Good luck taking care of Mom by yourself. Goodbye, Mark.
Rita, this is your mother speaking. You stop this nonsense about not talking to me anymore this instant. I need you to send me my monthly allowance right now.
Excuse me? What are you talking about now?
Your poor brother, they rescinded his job offer at Google. Can you believe it? They told him that the economy was too bad and inflation was too high, and that they couldn't afford to hire him anymore, so they canceled his job offer. I can't believe he finally landed himself an amazing job with one of the most important companies in the world, and now it's all gone. It's just not fair.
Let me guess, you heard all of this from Mark himself, right?
Well, of course I did. Who else would I hear it from? Oh, the poor dear, he sounded so upset over the phone. He's worked so hard looking for a job these past couple years, and they took it all away from him. It's just awful. I mean, he finally found a job that would have made him some amazing money, and thanks to all that nonsense, now he's back to square one. How could this happen? Oh, he sounded as if he was about to cry when he called to tell me the bad news.
I see. He was on the verge of tears, huh?
You do realize what this means, right? It means I won't be getting my $3,000 a month. It's all ruined. That's why I think you can guess what I'm going to say to you next, can't you, Rita? You've always been such a nice girl. I know that you never really care for me and could never leave me in a position like this. Oh, won't you please think of your dear old mother and send me my $1,000 a month again?
What? Are you crazy? Of course I'm not going to be sending you any more money. You aren't going to be getting another dollar out of me.
What? What do you mean?
I think we already settled this matter earlier, didn't we? Anyways, I have nothing left to say to you, and I am busy with work. Goodbye.
Wait, Rita! Oh, you can't do this to me. Come back, please. I'm begging you not to leave me. Whatever you do, just don't do this. How can you do this to your own mother? It's so cruel for a child to do this. What are you thinking? I mean, really, do you think that this is okay to do at all? Think of your mother. Think of your poor little brother. What about Mark? Are you really just going to abandon us like this? You really aren't going to send me any more money?
Yes, that's what I said. I've explained this to you so many times, and you refuse to listen to me at all. You've been pushing and pushing and pushing me, and now I've finally hit my limit. You thought that you could get away with treating me like this for all of my life, but you're wrong. Besides, I told you that I want you out of my life. Why would I take care of someone whom I want nothing to do with ever again?
But we can make up. We can go back to how we used to be. You can't really be serious about all of that, right? You can't be serious about never talking to your own mother ever again, right?
I am serious, Mom. Very, very serious. I mean, did you really think that I was just going to let you steamroll me for the rest of my life? Did you really think that I was just going to let you get away with that? You must have really thought that I just had no self-respect for myself at all, huh?
How can you be so cruel? Oh, don't you realize that I'm your mother, the one that birthed you? Don't you understand what you're doing by doing this? I mean, really, where is your heart? Your compassion, your mercy, your pity, your empathy, your clemency, your grace, your charity?
This panicked little show of yours isn't going to change my mind. It's far too late for that now. From now on, you'll only have your precious prodigal son to count on. How does that sound? Your prodigal spent 2 years looking for a job and came up with nothing, son. As for me, I will finally get to be free from the both of you. I'm sure Mike will work hard to show his appreciation for all you've done.
But what about you? Don't you want to show your appreciation for all I've done with that money?
After all, it was me who raised you two all by myself. Don't you know how much I sacrificed for you? Don't you know how I always worked to support you two? And you want to be compensated for that financially? Besides, it's the parents' job to raise their children. That's how these things work. It is up to the parents to love and surprise their children and make sure they grow up in a happy environment. And then, when they are older, it is up to the kids to choose to repay their parents for that. But don't you think it's pretty messed up as a parent to try and make that kind of repayment an obligation that they can't get out of? What kind of nonsense are you talking about now? Where did you hear all that dribble from? You're saying that of course it's the parents' job to suffer? Is that what you're trying to tell me? Do you know how difficult it was raising 2 kids all by yourself? Yes, I'm sure that for most parents it is difficult, and I am sure that they work very hard. But what about you, Mom? Huh? As I seem to recall, you were always leaving me to my lonesome or pushing me aside. Meanwhile, whenever your precious little Mikey even had so much as a sniffle, you would rush him to the hospital and offer to pay anything to make him better. But when I got sick, what did you do? You just made me feel like a burden the whole time, like I was doing it on purpose to bother you. You would toss me a can of soup and tell me to make it myself. Really? Is that how it happened? Oh, that's not what I remember. Well, it was. It was exactly how it happened. If you can't remember it that way, it's probably because you've been way too busy living selfishly in your own little fantasy world, where you're always correct, always the victim, and always deserving of everything from everybody. And then after I finished high school and told you that I wanted to go to college, you told me not to be greedy and steal from Mike's college fund. You made me put myself through it. And you only ever bought me clothes that looked like they came from the bottom of the worst corner of a thrift store. But you would only get the finest for Mike. So please forgive me if I don't quite buy into the whole "I worked so hard to raise you" shtick that you are trying to pull on me right now. What are you saying? I don't think that you're thinking straight at all. I mean, you never ever talk to me like this, you know. I just want to know what has gotten into you to make you act this way towards me. Do you realize what you're saying to me? I really don't think that you do at all. I am saying that in spite of all that I just said, I still sent you money every month for a whole decade of my life. And then finally you came and spit it back in my face saying you didn't need it anymore. That decision was yours, but I have no intention of changing things now. Wait, Rita, please. Oh, how can you be so cruel to your own mother? Oh, listen to yourself. It's not like I wanted to come crawling back and ask this of you, you know. It's just that because poor little Mike's job offer was canceled, I have no other choice. Oh, can't you see that? It is time to put aside all this silly squabbling about the past and work together as a family. About that, I would try asking Mike what really happened to his so-called job at Google. Because I talked to him and he told me the truth. He never had a job at Google. I doubt he's even still really looking for a job at this point anymore. What? What do you mean by that? What are you saying? What do you mean Mike never had a job at Google? He told me himself. It's fine to love your son as much as you do, but as his mother, it is your job to take a bit more interest in life and really look at the way he's been living, don't you think? You really think someone who barely got through community college and couldn't find himself a job for 2 whole years suddenly landed some high-paying position for a company like Google? Ask him. I'm busy at work. Goodbye. And I really don't have time to be putting up with your antics anyways. I've already wasted enough of my day messaging a crazy person like yourself. Don't you know that?
What's the big idea, Rita? How could you do this? You blew it all up. You ruined my whole plan and told Mom about it. Now Mom is furious at me and it's all your fault. How could you do this to me? You know she even hit me. She's never done that before. Never in the entirety of my life has she ever raised even a finger at me. Look what you've done to us.
Wow, she really must have flew off the handle when she asked you about the truth, huh? Well, I suppose that can't be helped. After all, she lost a major source of income for her and realized that her precious son lied to her about his job.
Who wouldn't be so mad that they would want to hit something at that point? I can't say I don't understand how she feels.
Well, that's nice, but who's understanding how I feel now? Not only did Mom hit me for the first time in my life, but she told me to pack up all of my bags and move out of the house.
You're kidding. You mean she actually got so mad at you that she's going to kick you out?
What am I supposed to do now? I don't have any money. I can't just find a place to live. She told me that she never wanted to hear from me again until I find a job that pays a starting salary of at least $3,000.
Wow, it sounds like Mom has finally lost it.
What am I supposed to do now, Rita? You know that I can't find a job. How am I supposed to get through this? Even as she was kicking me out, Mom said that she believes in me and that she knew I could do it, but what does she know? Please, you've got to help me. What am I supposed to do? You've got to save me. Maybe you can put in a good word for me at your company and get me a job there, right? A little nepotism never hurt anyone, right? And maybe you can tell them that I'll need to be paid at least $3,000 a month?
What? No, there is no way I would ever do that for you. I wouldn't even ask them to pay you a single dollar for your salary.
But, Rita, please, you can't do this to me.
Consider this a good opportunity for you to finally move on from your pampered life as a mama's boy and into the real world. Rita, what is the meaning of this? You explain yourself right now. Are you really working at such a large company now? When did this happen? I only found out because some family members called and mentioned it while we were talking. They told me that you're writing special reports for a magazine now and that you're a section head there as well. Oh, I guess the secret's out. Oh well, I knew the privacy wouldn't last forever. So it really is true then? Why didn't you tell me yourself? Why wouldn't you tell your mom about your new job, especially if it was at such an elite company? It really isn't as complicated as you're thinking, Mom. I was promoted alongside a few other people from my company, and they put me to work on a project. I just happened to be good at the thing they assigned me to do is all. The special articles just incidentally fell into my lap. But surely getting promoted at such a large company means that you're making a lot of money now, right? Yeah, I suppose so. If you must know, I'm making somewhere over $10,000 a month now. $10,000 a month? Well, that's just wonderful! Rita, I think it's time for you to come home and live with me again. Oh, surely you must have time to handle things at your home. Why don't you move back in? As your mother, I promise to support you in everything that you do and give you all the help you need. Oh, really? Is that so? Well, yes, of course, and you won't have to worry about Mike. I kicked him out a long time ago. I want to apologize for everything that I've had to put you through. So please, come home so that a mother can enjoy her older years with her beloved daughter. Doesn't that sound wonderful, Rita? We can make up and live together happily. Wouldn't that make you happy too, dear? Sorry, but who are you again, and why should I do that? What are you saying? What do you mean? I'm saying that I already told you. We are no longer family, and I don't want you in my life. As far as I'm concerned, I don't have a mom or a little brother. I still have no more family. I am just a single being traversing this world all by myself. I have no family. I've never had any family. I was just born and then always on my own for all my life. You know what the sad thing is? I really don't think that that's too far from the truth at all. But you can't be serious, Rita. Be rational. I mean, you know that we're your family. Think of all the time I spent raising you. You can't just tell people that we don't exist. So please, cut out all this mother talk. It doesn't suit you. Rita! Oh, what a horrible way to speak to your own mother. Come now, you're being ridiculous. You cannot speak to me all you like, but you can't deny that at the end of the day, I am your mother. Enough of all these games. I want to make amends, so please, just come home now and stop all this silly nonsense. Your mother misses you. I already told you that I don't have a mom. You are not my mother anymore. I don't want you in my life, and I think that I have made that perfectly clear to you. So how about you just quit bothering me and harassing me and trying to get me to like you again, because it isn't ever going to happen. You are dead to me. Do you understand me? When people ask me what happened to my mother, I am going to tell them something so terrible. Do you know what I'm going to tell them? I will type out in the following sentences what I will tell people so that they instantly stop asking about my mother when they ask about my family. I am going to tell people that ask about my mom that she died in a horrible accident or by some other gruesome means as far as I am concerned. What? What a horrible thing to say about me! For now, I just plan to live my life by myself and enjoy the peace and quiet. I have already built a house that is the perfect size for one person. And I certainly don't need the help of any kind of maid to take care of it like you were offering earlier. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to get back to my life. After that, I moved to a new address, changed my phone number, and settled in to enjoy living on my own. I even went so far as to ask the rest of my relatives to understand and respect my decision. As for my mom, I hear that even while we were talking, she was always pestering our relatives for money. When I told them what I had done, they all supported me and said that I had made the right decision in leaving behind my mom. I hear that in order to survive, my mom had to beg for loans from relatives and is working several part-time jobs now in order to pay back all of her debts to them. I hear that Mike has more or less gotten by in a similar manner, but he seems to be having a lot more trouble holding down a job and had already started and left several part-time gigs, all while piling up the debt by taking more loans to survive. As for me, I did the opposite of them and never reached out and bothered anyone. I'm just living life on my own terms and through my own efforts. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to see more content like this.